So today I'm going over the directions so that you can get an A+ on your Explorer project. Let's just take a look right here. If you come onto your history class, at the very top of the classwork, you'll see the Explorer project, and I have just posted Explorer project examples. Remember that this project is due on Tuesday, the 26th, so it's really important that you have already started, and if you haven't, get started right away. These are the directions for the project. So go ahead and click on it. You will see I have some writing here, but most importantly, let's actually take a look at the project itself. Now, what's important to know is that there are two distinct parts. One, you'll be creating a research project, a research report on a Jamboard, and two, you'll be doing a writing activity. You get to choose which one you want. Well, first, you scroll down here and you will have picked an Explorer. Now, almost everybody has told me which Explorer they are going to do on their project, so that should already be done for you. Next, you have to take a look here at all of the parts that you have to include in your report. You need to include their name, some personal information, where they're from, how they became interested in exploring, who paid for their expedition, financed, where did they go, what was the result of their expedition, what were some other important parts of their discovery. Include some facts that you learned and make sure to include a source page. Now let's go back here and let's take a look at some examples. So this is an example if you were to pick Leif Erikson, who wasn't an option, but here's an example of an A+ project. So we have a nice title here, we have a cool background picture, he was a Viking. Let's go ahead here. Here are some personal information. So when we were creating this example here, we'll go back to our work. We're looking here through what we need to include and going through and making sure that you've included each part. So you can go ahead and skim through these examples on your own, but you'll see we have the map, we have some more personal information, we have some photos, we have the purpose of his expedition, who is financing it. Now, because of Leif Erikson was a little bit older than the other explorers, it's slightly different, but the idea will be the same for yours. All right, here's his travel routes. We go back here and we look, we're including the travel routes, we're including the results of the expedition. All of these you can find by doing research to different websites that are included here a little bit further down. You can do American history websites, Dexter's websites, you can even use Wikipedia if you want. So we have the results of the expedition, including some pictures, other important facts, including a cool stamp here. But these are all information that we read online through our research project. And please don't forget to include your sources. You have to have at least 3 of them. Here we use some YouTube videos, Easy Science for Kids, Britannica. I expect that you would probably use Dexter's and Wikipedia. So here's an example of an A+ research report. Now, yours doesn't have to be quite as detailed or as extensive as these, but you do really want to make sure that you're answering all of these requirements here. Now, the second part of it is the writing activity. So let's just take a look here. You'll pick one of the following. Film an interview with the explorer. Now, that will be on Flipgrid. Write an interview. Now, both of these kind of have to go together because you have to write the interview before you film it with 5 questions. Or if you want, you can write 3 diary entries from the perspective of your explorer. All right, let's just take a look first at an example of the interview. So here's an example of an interview. You can go ahead and look at this example on your own time, but you'll see here that I have 5 questions. Life as a child, discovery of North America, what was North America like, why did you leave, and what did you do when you returned? This is kind of a good overview. And because it is an interview, you can kind of include like you're having dialogue back and forth. Now again, this is a very good interview, an A+. Yours does not need to be quite so full. You can have less information. You still need to have the 5 questions, but you don't have to have quite so much. But this is very good if you wanted to get an A+. And the other option is a diary entry. So if we go back here, you can read a diary entry. These are going to be 3 5-sentence entries from the perspective of your explorer. my advice would be to do one diary entry that the explorer wrote as they're leaving wherever they're from, one as they're arriving, so this is leaving Iceland to Greenland. This is landing in North America. And then one, you can talk about the place that they're going or their return trip back home. You'll see here, each of these diary entries is talking about the perspective of the explorer on their journey. So you have to think about them. You can read through this one for the ideas, and you can, in your research, you can learn a little bit about what their journey was like to include. There is definitely a lot of creativity here when you're writing, so you can embellish kind of the traveling and the trip and what it was like. But definitely this can be a lot of fun to write as well. So let's come back here. You have the report, which we've gone over, the writing activity. And then finally, let's just take a look here at the rubric. Now the rubric tells you how I'm grading them. So the maximum for each one is 3 points. So you can read through your rubric. If you're shooting for an A, you want to get all in this category. For the report, that you're including all the items from the requirement, that it's organized, it's accurate, and you've included the sources. For the writing activity, you do have to have the 5 questions with the answer. Each answer has to have at least 2 sentences. For the filming, it's clear and easy to see. For the diary entry, there has to be 3 with 5 sentences each, and they have to include facts that you've learned. So there you go. There is our Explorer project. I hope that you've already started. If you haven't, please get started right away. And good luck, and I look forward to grading.